Well, good day, everybody. This is Doug, the Modeling Hermit. I'm having to talk a little bit loud today because it's a hot, humid day, and I've got fans going, air conditioner, fans, and everything else going here in the shop. So, hopefully you can hear me. But we've made progress on this build of the one for Jim Van Zee, the local race driver legend, and also for the Race Vehicle Hauler Group Build 2025 that I'm hosting. But we're going to talk about a couple things here. I have the chassis together. All right, a lot of chassis. We only have to talk about a little piece of it here. So when these two pieces go together, there is about a quarter of an inch or so of little hair on there. There's about a quarter inch or so of plastic down in this groove here, and that has to be cut out. And at the very end of this, there's just a little piece of plastic there that has to be trimmed out. And then I use Plastruct number 145 Hot 40 by 100 1.0 by 2.5 millimeter plastic strips to go into that, and I just lay those down. I don't worry about any certain length, just approximate length that I put in there. Then I sand those smooth. Now right here, this is where this had to be a little bit of a groove cut in here so that this little piece here would lay flat, and so that I filled that with plastic weld from Plastruct. So anyway, so I filled that with that, and then I also these are the connection points here. I also hit them with the same thing. I wanted the plastic weld because I wanted a good strength right there. Okay, so this same Hot 40 by 100 plastic, I used that as a bracer across the inside. Can you see it? Okay, so across the inside of this piece right here. My dog is chewing on something. Just making sure that, okay, she's safe. Okay, so anyway, I used that same piece of plastic right across this area in here. I could have used the 250 wide instead of the 100 wide, and probably should have, but I had it in my hand, so I just went and used it. And then I used angle piece of, this is about empty, so I have to hold it carefully. Number 296, again, plastic, polystyrene plastic. And these are actually evergreen plastic. You just buy them through Plastruct. But anyway, so these are 3/16 angle, 0.188, 0.48 millimeter. So anyway, that's what I used there. This is just an angle piece. I'll show you where I used it. And so that's where I just put that on this outer edge of these pieces here, matching that up with that 140 by 100 underneath it there. And then I kind of gave it a little bit of an angle back here at the back. I cut it to length to meet this cross member and then to meet this ending right here. So that's what I cut it to length for. And then once again, I went ahead and glued the outside of the join there. So that's what I've done with that. I've got an idea about where I'm going to have my rear axle at. So that I'm not putting that in yet until I am really definitely sure, because that's going to have to go in to meet this. So anyway, it's going to have to go in to meet that. So anyway, so somewhere in about that area there, I am leaving this plastic. See how this dips down here and this dips down here where I turn things around? I'm going ahead and leaving that in there. Just number one, it's a little bit strengthening, and number two, the axle is going to go right over that. it's not going to make any difference, and the axle is going to clear it fine. So I'm not going to worry about sanding that out. Once again, this is the underside of a display case model. It's never going to be seen, so we can take a few liberties here. The drive shaft, I have some K&S metal tubing that I thought about using for the drive shaft, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just use probably the kit drive shafts for this. I'm going to build a lot like what, for anybody that's built the Ford L-Series trucks, I'm probably going to use their universal in the middle, that type of universal in the middle there. Just a simple, rectangle with a curve at the end and a little hole going through it there. I'm probably just going to do something like that. So that is my plans for the chassis. The body, the body. We'll talk about the body in a minute. Let's find another thing that I've done here. This is the bed for it. In the actual truck, there is a hole right here. Dips down just a little bit where the the hoist goes to. For some reason, I can't think of the name of it there. But anyways, where that goes to. And I didn't catch that until after I had this all built. It would have been a lot easier to have built that before I had this built. So, but I'm going to be able to do that yet. It's just going to be a little bit hassle. Now, the body. Thankfully, I did something right here. I had not put the glass in and put the gloss coat on and assembled this and everything. Because as you can see on there is a line where my Tamiya putty, which I've never had this happen with Tamiya before. Tamiya's always been super for me. But we got a little bit of a dip in here. She sank a little bit on me. So it's not going to be a big deal. I just got to put some more putty in that and then smooth that out again so that's nice and smooth across there. I probably just had too thick a putty on what I worked it before. I'm probably going to do this in 2 layers then. Put 1 layer on, get it smoothed out, and then put another layer on and then smooth it out again. So that I make sure that I don't get it too deep. Because I think maybe I did kind of take the shortcut and put a little extra in because I figure, it's Tamiya. It's never going to bother anything. Well, you can't, never assume. By the way, I also, this piece across here that says remove, I don't remove it until I'm all done with the body because it gives me something to hang on to with the body, especially like when I'm putting in my final buffing and such on it. I don't want to be handling the body a lot, so this gives me something that I can handle the body with. Okay, so there's that. The engine, okay, let's talk a little bit about the engine. That's it. I hope this is okay. This is a Mopar engine sitting on a Ford engine stand. I think it's actually for a flathead Ford engine stand. So, anyway, I hope it's okay. So, I'm not going to detail this a lot. Once again, we are dealing with a model that's not, the hood isn't going to be open a lot on this thing or anything. I'm just going to go ahead and just put my air cleaner on and such, and make this a nice looking engine, in case the hood ever does get open. But we're not going to get into any serious detailing, plug wires or anything like that. Now the car that goes onto this, I probably will do that because that may get handled. A lot of difference between the car carrier and the car. Let me tell you what. So that's what I'm up to so far. These are the things that I've run into so far that I'm going to have to, issues. So anytime you're, even Tamiya putty, make sure that you are checking what you're doing and you're not going to have a problem with that sinkage like that. So, and then like on this body here, check your pictures first. I mean, that's why you do the research and get those pictures. Check them first to make sure that, you don't have to you know, fiddle like I did. This would have been a lot easier to have built when I had this on the outside. So that's that. The chassis, again, is there anything else I need to mention on the chassis? I did, when I cut off this end piece, I took a piece of the end piece here and flipped it, cut it and fit it into here, and then did a little bit of work to fit that in. Trying to make it look as positive as possible. I ran some 2-part epoxy in around some areas just to kind of seal those. Not getting too carried away. The paint, flat black paint is all I'm going to use on that. They're going to cover. I did the same thing right there. 2-part epoxy, little strengthening agent with that too. I did not do that up here. I probably should have. I probably would have benefited from it. That's something you might want to think about. But I think that this glue that I've got, and the fact that this is going to glue to, if I can keep from bumping you, to the chassis pretty solidly. It's one reason one of the problems we've got with this is there is no room in there to put any splice pieces or anything like that in. So this sits right straight down. These little white areas right there, and there, those fit down in to this. That's how tight that is going to fit onto that chassis. So once again, that's going to go on like that right there. So that's how it's going to fit on there. So that's why I didn't get carried away with a lot of other stuff. That's going to glue down pretty solid right there together. Yeah, so like I say, check your work afterwards. Make sure that I thought I had that nice and smooth. I've still got to go in and catch that up with a little bit more fill. So this is Doug, the Modeling Hermit, and I am off the air and I am gone.